Good morning. It's Sunday, September 20th. I made a decision this morning to wake up and to tap into the gratitude I'm feeling for being alive, for feeling pretty good. Um, I'm away out of home. My wife and I decided to take a break. We pushed really, really hard this past 6 or 8 weeks in completing my mother's book about Alzheimer's and my caregiving of her for those 5 years, and things I learned about being a caregiver and about health care to people who are in need of long-term care, and about self-care, how to take care of myself, because my cancer did not go into remission. I had to have my daily management of my cancer and my other illnesses as well. But we pushed through and we got the book done. Sent it to the publisher on September 11th, which I'm very excited about. And I have this other book that I contributed a chapter into called The Great Pause that I just learned from my neighbor who picked up some parcel for me while Kay and I are away, that the paperback books have arrived. And I have a number of friends who've already purchased the book sight unseen and supporting me in my projects. And I cannot wait to get back home to fulfill these orders and to get this book into the hands of people. It is a mega dose of love and hope. And I think more and more that's what we need to put into the world. I am crying now just at where we are politically in this country. We're in places that none of us had imagined we'd be in. And wow, when Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, oh, what a gut punch that was. And then all of the insensitive, callous, hypocritical, evil things that are being said by the Republican Party and their leadership in the aftermath of her passing, despite her fervent wishes, despite their change of prevailing conventions in 2016 when Barack Obama was denied the opportunity to place a justice on the Supreme Court in the last year of his presidency, and McConnell and others saying the reason for it was that we were in an election year. And here we are just weeks away from a federal election, a presidential election, and they want to power through to place someone on the court to fulfill their manianistic assault on the progressive expansion of rights in our country. So as a woman of color, as a lesbian woman, as a woman who believes in reproductive freedom, as a woman who believes in limitations of government and on restrained power of the executive branch, I am very deeply concerned about the next steps in the Justice Supreme Court of this country. None of us saw it coming on one hand. On the other hand, I'm like, wow. I remember back in 2009, actually, I think it was, after Obama was elected, there were people who were strategizing then that Ruth Bader Ginsburg should have retired and Barack Obama could have placed the next person in with very little contesting, I think, at that point. I think that the Republican opposition hadn't galvanized to the point that they are now. But anyway, that's all water under the bridge. What an amazing woman she was. She has altered the landscape of our nation for the good, for the better. And we have to keep working in her honor on all the things we care about. And I think we have to keep pressing on toward November 3rd. And I believe we can win this. I really do. I think people feel like I feel. Like we're just exhausted. Or maybe that's by design on the right-wing side. I hope we're not too exhausted to get out to vote. I know in my home, 2 votes are going for Biden-Harris. And it isn't just against Donald Trump. Like, I believe in the values of the Democratic Party. They're not perfect. We have to continue to press on the inside and the outside for the issues we all care about in the more progressive wings of this party. But my God, if you didn't need another reason to vote, wow, you got it now. I mean, this has been part of their plan all along, and we haven't watched it. This change in the judiciary at every level of the judiciary, Trump has made his mark with the evangelicals, with the teabaggers, and now the QAnon and the extremists, more extreme conspiracy people. They're starting to come into the political process as legitimate power brokers. This is the time we're in. All of this because of white fear. All of this because of the fear that the character of this country may change. Too progressive, too many people of color. This is the reaction to that. It is the blacklash to the backlash to the white lash. That's what this is. And it's frightening. So, listen, the politics in the world affects you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Protect yourself. Guard against the toxicity coming inside. Stay connected to the source of positivity and love and hope and faith. That's what we have to do right now. Guard against the toxicity that will hurt our bodies, put us in spirals of despair and depression and anxiety and fear that rob us of the hope by denying us the ability to see good in people, to see hope in the process. It exists. I know it doesn't seem that way. It's hard right now to see it, to touch it, to feel it. But that's what faith is. It's believing in the things you can't touch and feel. It is a knowing, a certainty that we're in the right side of a righteous battle for good in this country, to reverse the hate in this country. I still believe there are more of us than there are them. But we got to get out to vote. There's no question about that. Voting, franchisement, standing on the line, showing up, writing out your ballot, getting it in, making sure it gets counted this year. That's what we're obligated to do. That's the obligation. Get your ballot. Vote. Make sure all the info's correct. Get your signature on it. Post it as soon as you can if you're using the mail. Put it in the drop boxes as soon as you can. Take it to the Board of Elections if that's the process you have to use. Or show up at the polls on the day of. If you're in an early voting state, get out early to vote. If you're doing absentee ballots, make sure you get yours. If you're voting by mail, get it early and put it in the mail. If you're voting electronically, get it as soon as possible and vote, and then follow up and make sure your vote counts. We are in the battle of our lives. And we may lose this one with Ruth Bader Ginsburg's replacement. That's a potential 6-3 majority on the highest court in the land. And we knew this day was going to come. She gave us everything she had for as long as she could, battling all kinds of medical issues. In the end, cancer took her, but my God, did she fight. And she fought for us. And she was brilliant. And she left a legacy that we have to try to protect. Just as we should be doing with the Barack Obama legacy. Think about this. Healthcare could change. Reproductive rights could change. Voting rights can change. Gay rights could change. Trans rights could change. Civil rights could change. And we could lose checks on presidential power. We are in a crisis. I feel it more than ever this morning. And while I will take today to cry, and this is an honoring of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, it's an honoring all the first responders, all the people on the front lines battling COVID-19, all the people on the front lines battling the fires out west with no help from FEMA and the federal government. I believe that's true. Check me if I'm wrong. I haven't heard Trump do anything but deny science, to say, oh, climate change is going to reverse. Oh, coronavirus is going to disappear. Oh, we brought peace to the Middle East, and we brought countries together who were not even in conflict. It's all smoke and mirrors for him. It's all lies and deception. It's all the soundbite. And our media, too much of the press gives him those sound bites. I wish we would ignore him and just fact check the hell out of him. Because when he opens his mouth, he lies. And we need to call it for what it is. This is the power grab of the millennia. And he's evil. And the things he stands for is for the love of money. And if that's what the Christians have devolved into that follow him, where God is his money, fear is their dogma, that's where this country's going. I'm sad for our country. So that's where it's at. But like I said, it's important. I've taken the day to refresh, reconnect to my God, the God I call love, the God of my understanding. I'm going to take care of myself today. I'm going to love my wife. I'm going to commune with this beautiful ocean. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the ocean on the horizon. We have the good fortune to being away near the sea. And tap into the gratitude I have for the many blessings in my life, of which there are many. And to hold on to hope and to faith, believing that together, young, old, people with conscience, the rainbow of the 80s I believed in, that is now reconvened on a common mission to restore the footing of our democracy in this country. That's where we're at today. And I know we can do it. It'll be hard. And we've got to make this the priority between now and November 3rd. We are entering into the home stretch. The time for early voting is starting. The time for the absentee ballots and the mail-in ballots and making your voting plan is now. This is the time. And we are going to remove elected officials at every level who are not working in our interest, who believe in science and public health, who have compassion for the suffering, who will put dollars and cents into our cities and our states to revive us during this time of a global pandemic. This is what we're going to do. Soon, the change will come if we work for it. And in Ruth Bader Ginsburg's name, and in the name of John Lewis, and in the name of so many others we've lost who have been champions of civil rights, human rights, voting rights, social justice, I am going to work in their name for change. You all take care of yourselves. Love the people you're with. Say hi to your neighbors. Try to come from a place of love and gratitude. That is the best antidote to the hurt and the fear and the sadness of the times. We'll keep on keeping on, as Harriet Tubman says. And eventually, we are going to get to the land of more freedom. I love you all. Thank you for all your love and support on my journey, battling my cancer. I'm fortunate to have good care, good health insurance, great doctors. So my kidneys are right. Still fighting the little buggers when they come into my body. And doing what they say to do to take care of myself. And I wish that for you.